found in Africa. Yet the southern tip of Britain is home to a fairly large colony of African penguins. The penguins are adored by local residents of South Elk, and they're a source of year-round amusement for tourists as well.
Such people on your rock.
However, June 23rd, 2000.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Penguin Encounter here at SeaWorld San Diego. My name is Amy. I am one of the apiculturists here, which means I get to spend my days caring for these amazing birds that you guys are looking at right now. I thought I'd just come out for a few minutes, talk to you guys a little bit about penguins so you kind of know who and what you're looking at. And there's some really cool facts about these birds. There are 18 different species of penguins out there in the big blue world. Here at SeaWorld San Diego, we have 8 of them. We have 2 temperate species, so these are going to be penguins that live in a warmer environment like South America. We have our Magellanics that are outside of this exhibit, so you guys can visit them on your way out. And then we also have Humboldt penguins that are over near the dolphin pool, so make sure you check them out as well. But today we're going to be mostly talking about our cold weather penguins, which is what you guys are looking at right now. We have 6 different species in here, and we'll just go over a couple of ways that you can kind of tell who's who when you're looking at them in there. We'll start out with our smaller species. We have chin strap penguins in here. Now, like their name suggests, if you are looking for a chin strap, you're going to look for a little penguin, and he's going to have a little black line of feathers that goes underneath their chin. That's how they get their name. Next up, we have our Adelie penguins. These guys are a little bit bigger than the chin straps. I think the kind of best way to recognize them is if you look at a bird and it looks like it's got googly eyes pasted on either sides of their heads. They've got a big white ring around their eye, and they're very, very cute. Next up, we have our macaroni penguins. These are probably the most recognizable species in here. Macaronis are a type of crested penguin, which means they have beautiful, long, yellow feathers that come out of the tops of their heads. And if you see a macaroni, well, you'll see a bird that looks like a macaroni in there without those head feathers. That just means it's a juvenile. They don't usually get those feathers until they're about 2 to 3 years old. Then moving on to more of our medium-sized species of penguin, we have gentoos in here. A good way to find them is look for those bright orange beaks and bright orange feet. They also have a little bit of a kind of a wrap that goes around the tops of their heads. Kind of almost looks like they're wearing like a headphone or something. It's white. Fun fact about gentoos, they are the fastest species of penguin. When they are in the water, they can get going up to about 25 miles an hour when they're running. Super fast. And then last but not least, we have 2 of the largest penguin species in the world in here. We have king penguins and emperor penguins. Now these guys look very similar unless you know what you're looking for. Our king penguins are going to be a bit smaller than the emperors. They usually top out around 35 pounds or so, whereas the emperor penguins can get up to about 90 pounds. Big birds. Another good way to tell the difference is if you look at their beaks. The king penguins have quite a bit of a longer, darker beak. The emperors have a little bit more of a stubbier looking beak. So now you guys kind of know who's who in here. We'll just talk a little bit about kind of what makes a penguin a penguin. Fun fact, they are birds, even though they don't fly, they are considered birds. And as birds, they are covered in feathers. Their feathers are going to be quite different than a flighted bird, so like a hawk or a chicken. Their feathers are a lot kind of more fluffy and poofy. Penguins have very small, very dense feathers. And those feathers are all packed in really nicely on their bodies. If you were to look at them, it kind of looks like shingles on a roof to kind of overlap each other. And per square inch on a penguin, there's about 70 to 100 feathers. And of course, that's going to keep them nice and warm in the environment that they live in. It's also going to help keep them waterproof so that cold water isn't getting against their skin and making them cold. Penguins go through every year what is called a catastrophic molt. Now this is where they drop all of their old last year's feathers and then they regrow brand new ones. We have some of our kings and emperors that are currently in the middle of their molting. So if you see a bird that looks a little bit scraggly, that's what's happening. They're just getting rid of all those old feathers and then growing brand new ones. They have to keep those feathers in really good condition because, again, it has to last them all year. So I think a really cool thing about penguins is they have a special little gland at the base of their tail, and it just secretes oil. And they'll take that oil and they'll rub it all over their feathers, keeps them nice and conditioned, cleaned, and more importantly, waterproof. So again, that water isn't getting against their skin and making them cold. Now, as you can imagine, this many birds, they do eat quite a lot. Penguins can eat up to about 10% of their body weight every single day. They don't chew their food. If you were to open that beak and look in there, you would not see teeth. They swallow their food whole, but instead of teeth, you would find what's called papilla. Now, these essentially are just little soft tissues that look like backwards facing spikes in their mouth. And basically, it just makes sure that the fish that they're trying to swallow can't slip right out of their mouth and the skin. And we do feed them several different ways here at SeaWorld. You might see some of our keepers in there right now. We do hand feed these birds. It's a great way to keep up that bond that we have with them. It's also a really good way for us to check on everybody and make sure nobody needs any like vet appointments or anything like that. We also will throw food in the water. It's called broadcast feeding, and where they can practice those natural foraging abilities. And then we also do leave trays out for them so they can kind of pick and choose what they want to eat every single day. Several different ways that we do feed them. And then going back to their feathers that we were talking about earlier, everybody knows penguins are black and white. That is actually for a purpose. It's not just for fancy parties in their little tuxedos. Their black and white coloration is called counter shading, and this is actually a popular type of shading for marine animals. It provides a type of camouflage. That's where you're going to have that dark back and then that light belly. And that's going to make it so that if you're up there and you're swimming in the water and there's a predator that's hungry, he's lurking around looking for food, if he's swimming under you and looks up, all he's going to see is that white belly, which is going to blend in with the light and or the ice that's at the top of the water and hopefully keep you disguised so he doesn't see you. And then on the flip side of that, if he's swimming over you, he looks down and sees that black, dark top side. That's going to really blend in well with the bottom of the ocean. So again, hopefully keeping you from your knowledge. Now, some of you were here a little bit earlier. You might have seen us in here with our big old yellow hose. Every day we do blow fresh snow in for these birds. And there's a lot of birds. I need to go to the bathroom around every 10 minutes. So with over 300 birds in there, we get dirty pretty quickly. So every morning at 6:30 we come in, it's a great workout, we get our big fire hoses and we hose out all the old dirty snow, and then we take our scrub brushes and our disinfectant, we clean everything in there, and then we take our big snow hose and blow snow into the exhibit every single day for these birds. It's usually around 6,000 pounds of snow or so. We are going to be the only place in Southern California where it snows every day of the year. Alrighty, folks, thank you so much for coming to my little TED Talk here. I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes. If you have any personal questions you'd like to come on up and ask about these birds, I would love to answer them for you. Otherwise, please enjoy the rest of your day here at SeaWorld, and we'll see you again. Thank Nice.